Hello, guys. Welcome to our podcast discussion of the whole Siege of Mandalore arc. Now, I've been watching it with you guys on YouTube. You can see my reaction review videos. And Arthur here just finished watching it, and he watched all four episodes all together. So today, we're gonna have a discussion on the whole arc. We're gonna start with I'm gonna ask you, Arthur. I'm gonna ask you about your feeling about the whole arc, the whole story of the whole four episodes. Watching it as a movie, comparing to me who watch it week by week, and then we can go into details of each episode and some details I want to talk about.
Yeah, okay. My overall feelings, I think it was a very good stretch of episodes. I guess you had a good point. I guess I did kind of watch it like a movie. So as a movie, yeah, it was pretty enjoyable. Of course, I can see it. I've seen people talking with splicing it with episode three, and that's definitely a very valid idea because it definitely has a lot of those moving parts. I guess like you can certainly see it fit into episode three very well. So overall, it was very enjoyable. I was very impressed. I think it was a very fitting and a good finale for the Clone Wars series. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with it.
Awesome. Do you feel like you enjoy it like as a movie more or like as an week by week more? If like just imagine you watching it week by week.
Hmm. Well, I feel like a week by week, I certainly missed out on a lot of the tension. Like sometimes the episode would end and it's just like, oh, I can go to the next one. I guess that's the whole binging versus weekly watching idea. But I don't know. I guess it's hard to compare them really. But
That's true. Do
it,
you
it was
feel like
enjoyable either way, I'd say.
yeah. Do you feel like they are like separate enough to be standalone episodes, or do you feel like they are like more altogether as a movie? That's more like my question is
Oh, I
asking.
see, I see.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of hard to say because it is somewhat segmented in the fact like oh they're jumping from like times in episode three. But I mean in terms of the overall flow, I guess it does flow well. But I definitely like whenever they mention oh now that it's at this part in Revenge of the Sith or now they're doing this, I'm like oh, okay so it's not just it's kind of jumping, but I guess in a kind of a smooth way. So I mean, I felt like it was segmented at times. Like, oh, okay, they're dealing with the siege first. Now they're dealing with Maul's capture. Now they're dealing with the clone betrayal,
Yeah.
and they're dealing with the aftermath. So in that sense, it's kind of segmented. But I guess as an overall movie, it still does flow well. It's segmented, but it still has that kind of overall narrative, which I like.
Awesome. Because I watch it week by week and I
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of time to think about the episode, what happened. I have a lot of time to rewatch it and
Oh
then
yeah.
listen to other people discussion.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe like in my way, like I can pay more attention into the details. But I
Mm-hmm.
also last night I watched it with a friend online
Mm-hmm.
and we watched it all together, full episode. And
Oh,
what I
okay.
realized is I wasn't able to stop. When I finish an episode, I really just want
Oh
to
yeah,
jump
you
into the
just jump
next
into the
one.
next one, right?
Yeah, because it flows so well and it's so
Mm-hmm.
intense. I don't want to lose that,
Yeah.
especially with the last two episodes. I really feel like they should be one together because it's just one story from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like yeah, especially when you said all the part one, part two, part three, I can definitely feel like I guess that was the intention really. Like I feel like he just wanted to make this whole movie, which he kind of did.
yeah. And there are people online thinking about maybe Disney or Lucasfilm want to edit it together into a movie or even maybe make a cinema release or something. I
Oh,
personally really want that to happen. I would definitely watch that in the theater,
hmm,
just to like see the amazing animation like on the big screen.
oh,
That would be
absolutely.
cool.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of great shots.
Also, because it was syncing with the episode three, Revenge of the Sith. There are people
Hmm.
already like making like side by side
Yeah,
panels,
hmm,
videos together. That's super cool too.
yeah. I'd be interested to see that once it comes out. Yeah, I think they said like they're gonna stitch the episodes in with episode three. So yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we'll jump right into the episodes and go through them one by one and to
Yeah.
see if there's anything we missed we want to discuss.
Hmm.
So what's very unusual about this arc is like the start of each episode. We start with Lucasfilm Limited production with the
Hmm.
neon green logo. And
Hmm.
I don't know if you know this one. I only know this after I see the ninth episode. So I did some research because I wasn't sure about where this come from. It is from the very first movie in '77 when
Mm.
Lucas released A New Hope. It was called Star Wars back then, and that was the logo they used.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, the
That's really
very
cool. Yeah, that
first.
was one of the first notes I wrote. I said this is a very cool intro. It's like feels like you're actually watching the movie. And
Yeah,
yeah, like it wasn't like the episodes where it has the whole like little quotation and everything. It just kind of feels more like the movie intro, and it kind of just goes right into it, which is really cool.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have the title of the Clone Wars, which is Red. And
Mm-hmm.
did you notice the music is not our Clone Wars music, it's Star Wars music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
So definitely
intro
give it a
music.
different feel.
Because it really feels like they are just doing a movie now,
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah, I think
not like an episode.
yeah, that was definitely the intention, I think.
Yeah. However, we still see some bits of the what's going on, like the commentary.
Oh, you mean like the in the very beginning when they like kind
Yeah,
of flash? Oh yeah,
yeah,
that was
the
interesting.
flashback.
Yeah, yeah.
What's interesting about this part is we saw like just 1 second or half a second of the new model of Grievous.
Oh,
He
really? Oh, I
looks
didn't even notice.
great. Yeah,
Oh,
if you want, you can go back and see it. And we
uh-huh.
also see scene of Plo Koon and Ayla Secura.
Yes, oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that we because when the first time we watched the first week we after we watched this episode, everyone online is like they're not gonna waste money just to make like a second, half a second of character appearing. They have to come back, right? But in the end they didn't. So they really just made a new model just for that 1 second.
Which is cool, but it's also kind of a shame because when they talked about the Grievous invasion and all that stuff, I was kind of hoping to see a bit more of that, but I guess they
Yeah,
had to focus on Ahsoka's story, so I
yeah.
can't be helped.
There are so many things I want to see, but I'm
Hmm.
okay with what they gave us because
Yeah,
it was a complete story.
exactly.
Yeah. And then we jump into the a fight scene where there's Obi-Wan and Cody and other 212. They are fighting somewhere that is definitely not San Francisco and definitely not a Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, now that you mention it, I'm starting to think, yeah, that looked very similar.
Yeah, I have a friend who is like, are they like defending the Lucasfilm headquarters because that's exactly where it is, like San Francisco by the bridge.
Mm,
Maybe one day they just look out the window and like, yeah, let's just do battle here.
yeah, got inspired.
Got
Yeah.
inspired.
Yeah, so that was a in terms of that fight scene, that was pretty cool. One of the notes I wrote was the Cody Obi bromance. So when Obi Wan saved Cody, it was just like it's like it's a sign that they're like really close, but it's also like it kind of twists the knife because you know that Cody's going to be the one who's going to try to shoot him down, even after Obi Wan saved his life. It kind of just introduces that sense of irony, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I felt about that. And then when Anakin showed up, I was like, oh, you get to see some of how Anakin is more, I guess not reckless. He thinks outside the box, and
Yep.
you see a bit of that Anakin Obi Wan bromance as well, which is nice. So it's like one of the
Yeah.
few last moments of friendship you really get before Episode 3 happens. So
Yeah.
that was nice.
I'm really glad they did it because they didn't do the Crystal Crisis, and I want more moments with Anakin and Obi-Wan, and we
Exactly.
got
Yeah.
that little
Yeah.
moment, and it was like relaxing. It was fun. It was everything like in the past 6 seasons of Clone Wars. It was
Mm-hmm.
not as intense as the rest of the arc.
Mm-hmm.
And Anakin just so smart. He just stands there. It's like, what are you guys doing down there?
I was kind of like he kind of betrays the rules of warfare because when you surrender, then you can't just like fake a surrender. But then it's also like, well, he I guess he doesn't really follow the rules anyways. So
Yeah, I feel like it's a callback to the first Clone Wars movie, like the 4 episodes combined together. You
mhm.
remember in the middle of the fight, Obi-Wan fake negotiate or like surrendered with like another like the other leader, I guess they have a tea and they have a discussion, and in the end it turns out Obi-Wan is just taking his time wait for the backup stuff.
Hmm.
I feel like
Nice. So
that's
I
a
guess it's kind of poetic, I guess.
yeah, I think that's like a callback to the very beginning of where they
Ah.
start. And also to show that Anakin learned something from like all the strategy and all the different plan you can use instead of just charging head on.
Hmm.
Okay, that was a cool thing. And then we have some flying clone troopers.
Oh yeah, I wrote they fly now again. I said
Exactly.
that like out loud what happened. Like it just makes me think about episode 9, how stupid that was. Like they of course they fly. And like they always fly. Like I don't
Yeah, I know.
know.
And it makes less sense. It's like the thing who said that line was even
Yeah.
more ridiculous.
Yeah, when you look into the backstory behind episode 9, when they say, "Oh, Disney mandated that line to be added," I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense," because that is so a Disney line just to add. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, now we go to the when Rex coming and told Anakin there's an incoming message from
Hmm.
someone called Fulcrum. Do you know anything about Fulcrum in the future?
I don't know. Is that a reference to something? I had no idea what
Yes.
that was.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna keep it for you now because I really want you to watch Rebels
Oh,
and
it's a Rebels
everything
thing.
else.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
it's not even a Rebels thing. It's across many media thing.
What? Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Fulcrum is a big thing for
Okay.
Rebellion like afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't know, that's okay because yeah, that's okay because it's gonna be talked about a lot in the Rebels. I really want you to watch it, and I hope after watching this arc, you can like maybe
Uh-huh.
have the intention to watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so they meet with Ahsoka, which is from the trailer shot.
Hmm.
The very first trailer when they announced Ahsoka's back, they showed this thing.
Mm. Oh yeah, I remember
One
that.
Yeah, one little detail I really like is when Ahsoka's standing in the hologram and
Hmm.
Anakin is like panicking and he's just staring and Ahsoka not sure what to do. The funny thing is like everyone around him, Obi-Wan and Lauren, they are like nervously looking at Anakin. Should I react? Should I wait for him to react? What's going on? He just they just like looking at Anakin for like half a second also because for animation, because every second takes so long to make, every detail, every frame is planned. So like every twitch of eyes, like subtle face emotion, like movements, they're all planned. So it's fun to see how they have like reactions and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah,
And then
I felt like their reintroduction was it's kind of awkward. Like Anakin was just like, "Hey, how you doing?" You could, yeah, he was definitely very nervous, kind of panicking. But yeah, it was a very heartwarming reunion, as brief as it was.
yeah, well, not so heartwarming because Ahsoka's like all business. We'll catch
Oh
up
yeah, oh
later.
not, no,
Yeah.
not then. Yeah, yeah, not yet. But
Yeah, that was kind of sad though.
yeah, she was just like, okay,
Just
yeah,
to
let's
think about.
hurry up.
And then Ahsoka arrived in the ship, and the scene that when she left the ship and R2 just moved forward to greet her, that was
Oh yeah.
so cute. And it
Hmm.
also mirrors the first time in the Clone Wars movie when Ahsoka arrived.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when Asuka arrived as their Padawan, and she like left the ship. It's very like similar. It really reminds me of that scene.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, just to jump back a little bit because I totally forgot. When in the battle at the beginning, when Anakin was like standing in front of everyone, like in the middle of the battlefield, a lot of people say that that reminds them of Luke in The Last Jedi when
Oh
he
yeah,
just like
I was thinking that too. I was like, if they fire and then he does that like Luke thing where it's just like they all don't hit. I mean, I guess that doesn't make sense because he was a force projection. But yeah, that was definitely very Last Jedi like.
and then we have some arguments between Obi-Wan and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's like, we are not doing that, right? And Ahsoka's like, we have to save the people of Mandalore.
Hmm.
What do you think of their disagreement?
Well, I thought that. I mean, I understand where Ahsoka's coming from, but I felt like Ahsoka was kind of in the wrong. Well, I guess she was too naive because like if the Republic had to choose between saving Mandalore, which is pretty neutral and doesn't really have that much relevance. And they're going after Maul, who isn't really a big player, like I guess for the Separatists, versus an invasion of Coruscant. Of course, they gotta save Coruscant. Like I don't know. I mean, I understand why Ahsoka is all like, oh, you don't care about the people, but I don't know. Like it makes sense. Like there's no reason for them to choose Mandalore over Coruscant. But I guess the fact that Obi-Wan agreed to send any troops to Mandalore, anyways, was a good sign for his character. But one of the notes I wrote here was why is everyone bullying Obi-Wan? Like, I know Bo-Katan is very sensitive, but it's like she's really twisting in the knife. She's like, "Oh yeah, you didn't care about my sister, did you?" Like Obi-Wan just looks so sad. I'm like, why are you bullying Obi-Wan? Like, he's just trying to do his best, you know. Anyways,
Yeah,
yeah, it really
but
showed like
he,
he was a good
mm,
Jedi because he was able to like kind of, like like understand his emotions. He was like, "Yeah, I'm still sad, but I gotta do the right thing." And I feel
but
like if Anakin was in that situation, Anakin definitely would not have handled that so well.
that's true, but also I feel like Obi-Wan here is really being a part of the council. He's like talking about the Jedi Council like in every like 3 sentences, and he's basically, oh, council shouldn't do this, and instead of what I shouldn't do this.
Mm,
Um, he's getting a little emotional, like detached from the whole war business. I feel like comparing
yeah.
to in the middle of the Clone Wars when he knows that Maul escaped and he has to capture him, and later on when Satine sent out asked him to help him, like when in the season 5, and he just go along,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So I feel like almost like a different person. I feel like he has experienced so much, and he's like so tired of this war right now.
Exactly. I can't. So I don't really blame him for the decision he made. Like I feel
Yeah.
like most Jedi would be like that. And yeah, I don't think he did the wrong thing in going with the Coruscant. And then I feel like the fact that he gave Ahsoka anything, I feel like that because the council wouldn't have approved of that. So I feel like the fact that he did give her something was at least a sign that, oh, he isn't all for the council. Like he does kind of see the logic and he still has the emotions behind that. So I thought
Mhm.
that was good on Obi-Wan's part.
That's cool. So then next, Anakin just lead Ahsoka to a room where he shows her like the whole squadron paint their helmets to her
Mm,
face pattern. And then he also changed her lightsaber to blue.
mm.
Well, now like without discussing the rest of the arc, what do you think of this moment? And what do you think about of the color change, the lightsaber color change?
Well, I said that it was a very cool squad in my notes. I wrote the fact that Anakin says loyalty means everything to the clones. It's a very,
Yeah.
I guess, double-edged sword because it's like yes, in the fact they do believe in Ahsoka, but then also about Order 66. I'm just like, but it
Yeah.
was a very nice gesture that they painted the helmets. The lightsabers, like, I guess they changed it, right? Because one of the lightsabers was shorter than the other. Like, I don't know if that was like a, if did she
Oh,
always have that, or was that?
it was always shorter. Like
Oh, it was.
the one is like yeah, the secondary hand. So it's mostly for defense and stuff. So
Okay,
it's
okay,
not for main attack.
okay. But yeah, I can't think of any reason why he would deliberately change it though. So that was, I don't understand the symbolism behind that. Maybe you could kind of explain more on that.
Yeah. We can talk about it at the very end because I think it was linked to the very last scene of the whole show.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, I see.
Okay,
Okay.
we can talk about it later. And also, Dave Filoni actually talked about this question already, so I can
Hmm.
tell you about that.
Okay, so then,
So
like character-wise, so is there a reason why Anakin would have done that, or is it more
yes,
symbolic? I guess.
it's a character thing and a symbolic thing.
Okay, okay, yeah, I'm interested to hear that.
Okay,
Okay.
now
And
we are going to Mandalore, and we have a cool fight scene in the middle of the air when
yes,
Ahsoka
yes,
doesn't
definitely. I
have a
wrote,
jetpack and landed.
yeah, that was yeah, I wrote cool sky fight scene, and I said cool landing shot. But she just
Yeah.
like went straight for it. Like she didn't even have jetpack. She wasn't trying to stop her landing. She just kind of landed with the lightsabers in the ground. That was very cool. I also wrote that I guess she's just killing Mandalorians. I mean, later on in the episodes, yes, she does. But I thought she would have been more like, oh, these Mandalorians are just following orders from Maul, so we should maybe like try to not kill them. But no, she was just kind of merciless. She was like cutting them.
Technically,
She was cutting them out of the sky, breaking the
yeah,
jetpacks, and they
but
just fall to the death. I was
technically,
like, oh, I feel bad for them.
technically, she only like disabled their weapons.
I feel like disabling a jetpack when you are that high in the air, that's kind of a death sentence. I was like, yeah, I feel bad for those Mandalorians, but no, yeah. I mean, I guess that's war, but
Yeah.
felt kind of bad for them. But yeah,
Anyway, yeah, and we have some cool fight scene, and then we go to the underground. The Ahsoka heard something about Maul, and she led a team into the sewer system,
mm-hmm.
and then there's Maul coming out of shadow and saying, "I was hoping for
Kenobi, right?
Kenobi. What? Why are
Yeah.
you here?"
Uh huh.
And that's the end of first episode. What a place to end. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was
yeah,
a
that was the
cool
first
start.
episode. It was a lot of talking, and it was pretty much like the most lighthearted out of all four.
Yeah, because it just gets heavier from here on.
Yeah. And into the next episode, which is called Phantom Apprentice. What do you think of this title?
What was the name of? What? Oh, the Phantom Apprentice. That was the name.
Yeah,
Oh, I
the
didn't really
Phantom.
look at the titles. I just kept past next episode. But yeah, that's a cool callback to the Phantom Menace, I guess, because especially because it's Maul and Ahsoka, so it's very very clever title, and I guess it also ties back to the idea of the Phantom Menace itself, because there's a lot of talk about Sidious and his plans. So yeah, that's a very thematic and cool title, I'd say.
Huh. Okay.
What do
Um,
what do you think?
I actually talked about it a little bit in my reaction because you may know or may not know. There's one episode is my favorite Star Wars story ever. It's
Uh-huh.
in Rebels. It's called Twilight of the Apprentice.
Oh, that one. Oh, is that
Yeah.
wait, hold up. Is that the Marvel vs. Obi-Wan one, or is that something else?
No.
Oh, okay,
I'll
never mind.
leave it to you, but like, yeah,
Okay.
it reminds me of both that episode and the Phantom Menace. And I like how you see it's like a poetry. It rhymes. It really rhymes. Okay. Go into this episode. We go right into where we left off. That's why I think that like the two and two episode, like first two and last two, can just
Mhm,
be like a whole big movie because they just pick up where they left off.
mhm.
And they have a brief fight, and Maul said not yet.
Oh yeah.
And they yeah, and
So
then
waiting
they
for a
have
cooler backdrop to have a fight.
Mhm. And then there's a big conversation, an important one between Obi-Wan and Ahsoka.
Mm.
Were you
But
surprised to
before
see?
that,
Yeah,
actually, I wrote it would have been nice if Maul told them about Palpatine. But I feel like Maul knew that Palpatine was Sidious, right? Like he knew
yeah,
that like he didn't know all his plans, but he knew that.
yeah,
I guess story wise, it would kind of stop the story dead, but it would have made. I felt like it would have made sense for him to tell him, but I guess I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to tell all of his secrets yet. But if he said that, it would have saved a lot of time. I feel.
yeah. I'm gonna jump into later because
Okay.
there are people who think when they have a brief alliance in this episode,
Mm-hmm.
maybe if they go on become allies, become a team, maybe Maul will tell Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an idea because yeah, it sucks to think about everything, every chance they missed. There are so many chances. Maybe just maybe they could avoid everything, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's like anyway. The conversation between Obi-Wan and Ahsoka. Obi-Wan's like wearing her like the hood on his cloak and really reminds me of end of episode 3.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
what do you think of that conversation when they talk about the console and the spying on Chancellor?
I thought it was well, Ahsoka definitely brings the ethics into it. I wrote what Dooku death because I wasn't expecting them to already kind of tie into there, and I wrote ha 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 Chancellor friend because I was just thinking about Palpatine. But yeah, that's all my notes on that scene. But no, now that you mention it, it's nice that Ahsoka has Anakin's interests at heart because she's like, how does Anakin feel about this? Anakin's probably
Yeah.
not a fan about what the Council's doing. Obi Wan's just kind of dismisses it. And then, yeah, especially in this
Mm,
episode, I feel like they hint at there's a lot of opportunities that if Ahsoka talked with Anakin, she could have calmed him down
yeah,
and stopped things getting crazy. But the message just wasn't getting received. So
yeah,
it
but
makes you
also,
really think a lot of missed opportunities.
yeah, but also Obi-Wan said the council isn't always right, and he asked Ahsoka for help.
Well, yes, that was a good character part. So it does show. I feel like Obi-Wan's not entirely for the council. Like he is still
Yeah,
kind of he still listens and believes in the council, but he knows that they're not always right. Especially with that whole, I guess what there's a lot of scenes in the Clone Wars where I feel like he has doubts as well. So I think
yeah.
that was a yeah good moment for Obi Wan.
hmm Before they end their conversation, Ahsoka said, "Tell Anakin," and Obi-Wan said, "I will." What
Yeah.
do you
Now
think it
I
means?
don't know. I thought that his sentence got interrupted. I was like, tell Anakin what? I missed the context. I was like, because
Yeah,
what did she want him to tell Anakin?
I think that's just like an open discussion for you to like think. Like,
Yeah,
what do
I
you
was like,
think?
what could he have told? Well, whatever he said, he didn't say the right thing because Darth Vader still happened. But
Yeah.
I don't know, like he wanted like that he has his support, or Obi-Wan will be there for Anakin, or I don't know. It was, I can't think of what he she wanted him to say, so I was kind of confused there.
Mm-hmm. It's a weird point because I feel like there are so many things he could say, but I just don't know which one and what do they mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, there are so many opportunities, so many different possibilities.
Hmm.
Next, we have Jesse captured, and Maul did something very Kylo Ren to him.
Oh yeah, very Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
But then I was also
um,
wondering, like, what does Maul want to know about Ahsoka? Like, what did he learn about Ahsoka? Well, I guess he learns about the whole council betraying thing. But
yeah,
I
that's
was,
basically it.
yeah, I guess that's pretty much it because there's nothing else really to know about Ahsoka. Like, what else does he need to know?
But
But
he also knows nothing about Ahsoka.
yeah, well, I guess so. But I feel like after interrogating that clone, like, other than the council that she left the order and she was betrayed and all that stuff, like, he didn't really need to learn much. There wasn't much to learn, I feel. But
Um, but so like because of later on we learn what we learned from their conversation, we know that Maul is after Anakin. So
yeah, that's right,
after
that's right.
the yeah, when he learned that Ahsoka's Anakin's ex-Padawan, that definitely make him interested in Ahsoka. I feel
Hmm.
like that's why he decided to ask Ahsoka for help to team up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
that was a surprising reveal when it said he was also after Anakin. So yeah, that was cool.
later on, Ahsoka and Bo-Katan talked to Almec, and Almec gave a name that is who Maul is really after. Is Anakin Skywalker.
Hmm.
Did you see this coming? Did you see like do you think he was after Anakin or did you just think he was after Obi-Wan?
Yeah, I thought it was just after Obi Wan because yeah, I was surprised by the Anakin reveal because I did not think that that's what Maul was going after. So yeah,
Mhm.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And then we just go into the big fight, I guess.
Hmm.
Did you watch the video of the mocap they did with Ray Park
Yes,
and
yes,
yeah,
yes. I wrote. Oh wait, okay. What did I write here? I said Maul is sitting on the throne like a boss. Like he's just lounging on the throne. He's like, hey, yo, what's up? I wrote Maul's fight choreo flows so well. Ray Park, like even just looking at the movements, I was like, oh, this must be Ray Park, right? And then you showed me the video.
yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, yeah, of course it was. Because yeah,
yeah,
I got definite episode one choreo vibes. It was such a beautiful fight, very well choreographed.
yeah. I think he choreographed it himself.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah, also just mostly it's like the footwork, like the footing, like where he
Mm.
put his feet, that's just like the most Ray Park thing comparing
Hmm.
to other Darth Maul fights, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The way the movements flow within each other, and like he's just very fluid movements. I just feel like, oh yeah, that's definitely Way Park. So that was a
Yeah.
very good fight, and I like how they switch the environments up. Like it starts in the throne room and it ends up on the roof, and they do some cool
Yeah.
things with the roof that we can talk about later. But yeah, I also wrote Maul thinks he can kill Anakin? Question mark question mark. I feel like Maul is he's so arrogant. Like he's like, okay, I'm gonna kill Obi-Wan and I'll kill Anakin, then I'll go after Palpatine. And I'm just like, bro, you got cut in half. Like, come on. Like, if Savage was here, maybe like it'd be a bit of a fairer fight, but it's just you. Like, I don't know. I was like, okay, you're kind of shooting above your reach here, Maul, but good luck.
Maybe that's why he asked Ahsoka for help because he
Exactly.
he
Yeah.
knows he need help.
Yeah, he needs the help for sure. And I
Yeah.
also wrote Maul learns to dodge when Ahsoka tries that lightsaber backstab switch that trick. I was like, oh, that's very like episode one reminiscent. I feel like when Obi-Wan kind of did his trick to slice him in half. So I was like, oh, good, he finally learns how to dodge. He was like, oh, she's going for my legs again. I gotta jump. But yeah, that was cool. And
Yeah.
yeah, is there
Mm.
anything else you want to talk about
Yeah,
in that?
just right before that, this one shot is like probably my favorite shot out of every all the Clone Wars, even like compared to the ending, is when the glass shattered. When they're
Oh yeah.
standing in the throne room and it
Oh yeah,
just
and it
like
kind of
fly
slows
everywhere.
down for a bit, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
very
was
cool.
just so beautiful. Like I don't know why that scene really got me.
Yeah, I feel like animation wise, that must be like really a lot of hard work because to get all that glass fragments and the physics
Yeah,
of it, it's very, very good stuff.
it's really good. Anyway, so and later they moved their fight onto the rooftop.
Mm.
Yeah, you say you is there something you want to talk about that?
Oh no, I just said it's a very cool fight environment. Like the fact that they use the rooftop like later in that fight when like Ahsoka loses her lightsabers. Like she
Yeah.
uses like they use the environment to the advantage. Like the fact they're on such a like they have the balance and she's using that to advantage, which was cool.
Mhm.
What else did I write? I said, how would Maul destroy Sidious? Let's be real. And I also wrote, Ahsoka needs a tighter grip because she just lost the lightsaber so easily. And then I wrote, Maul, you lost to someone without a lightsaber? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I mean, it was cool. It was definitely cool. But I was just like, Maul, like if you lost like this to Ahsoka without lightsabers, how are you going to take on Anakin and Sidious? Like, come on, bro. But yeah, that was definitely a cool fight, and it had a good ending as well.
Yeah.
Definitely very strategic, and
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. When Ahsoka lost her lightsaber, she just go right ahead for Maul's lightsaber and
Hmm.
grab it and just throw him off.
Yeah, and then yeah, she
Yeah.
used it to like cut it, and like to make him lose his balance. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was yeah, very cool scene, and
That that's a move I feel like she constantly used, but like not a lot, but like she used in different works. In Rebels, she used it once, not the same way, but like sometimes she just go right for the saber. Also, it happened, I think, in the book, in the Ahsoka book, just go right for the saber, I guess,
oh yeah, it's
when she's
smart.
like
It makes
weaponless. Yeah,
makes sense. Like that's what you
interesting
should
choice.
do.
Yeah, interesting choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in the end, when the ships come up, the clone ships come up, and they captured Maul, and
Yeah.
he shouted, "You are all going to die. We are all going to burn."
Hmm.
That line, confirmed later on Twitter by Sam Witwer, the voice of Darth Maul, it was added very late by Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni felt like that line has to be there to show like he's desperate and how he really wants the revenge on Palpatine and how he knows everything's gonna change. Yeah, that line was get praised a lot on Twitter after this episode was
Yeah.
aired because yeah, it was very powerful performance.
Yeah, I feel like definitely they've sold or Sam sold that Maul was got very desperate because the fact he was even asking Ahsoka for help, like he was like he realized like Order 66 is coming and he kept saying, oh, the Republic's about to fall. He's like, "Oh, like I need to survive. We need to survive. So he realized that Sidious's plans were in the final stages. He was like, shit's about to get down, and I need something so I can like survive. So I thought that that was a his desperation definitely showed through. I feel like Maul. I also wrote here. Maul is such a douche. The Mandalorians are blind because like the Mandalorians are like, oh yeah, Maul, you're gonna be with us, right? Maul's like, I'm peacing out. He just kind of left them, and I'm just like, I know the Mandalorians are like, oh, because they killed his leader, he's a new leader, but like,
Mhm.
why would they? I don't know. I guess it's the Mandalorian culture, but they were so loyal to him. But but even though his betrayal was obvious, like he's not even a Mandalorian, so
Yeah.
why are they that loyal? But yeah, so I just felt like the Mandalorians are pretty blind. They didn't see that this treachery was coming. But
Mhm.
I kept thinking that Maul was going to escape because I was like, because Maul has to get out of this. I was like,
Mhm.
because Maul and Ahsoka they aren't
Yeah.
together.
Mhm.
So when that ship came, I was like, oh god, Maul's going to get away. And I was like, Ahsoka, you didn't listen. You didn't listen to Obi-Wan. You let him get away, but she actually captured him. So I was like, oh,
Yep.
that's a surprise.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty cool.
What I thought was gonna happen before everything aired, is that they're gonna fight, and in the middle of the fight, Order 66 happened, and there's a chaos, and
Yeah, that's what
Maul
I thought.
escapes
I
in the
thought that he
middle
would
of that.
escape in the chaos, but the
Yeah.
fact that Ahsoka was able to hold her own, I think that really gives a positive boost to her character because she didn't need Order 66. In fact, she didn't even let Maul get away. She captured Maul. She let Maul get away, which we'll talk
Mhm.
about later. So it was like, okay, so she's actually like she doesn't even need to be like a Jedi Knight or Master. Like I feel like she's already
Yep.
kind of earned that title, really.
Now we just go to the next one. There's a tiny time jump to the daylight, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And Bo-Katan hands Ahsoka her lightsaber. Rex coming and told her there's a council meeting.
Mm.
That council meeting is quite interesting because it was directly taken from episode 3.
Yeah, yeah. The dark side surrounds the Chancellor. I sense a plot to destroy the
Yeah,
Jedi. I was like, oh
that
yeah,
was
I know those lines.
there's definitely like a cut online. I can find it for you later. That it was Anakin was there at the beginning of this meeting, and he was like talking to Mace about like spying on Chancellor or something. Then he
Mm-hmm.
left, and the next sentence Mace said is, "I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi." It's
Exactly. But then
right into it, and
that made
Ahsoka
me
just missed
think
him.
that yeah, but that made me think like the fact that Ahsoka was present at the meeting, like there's either two possibilities, like because
Mm,
we see that scene in the movie, either
yeah.
Ahsoka was there in a hologram in the movie and we just didn't see it, or for some reason Mace said that line twice in two different parts.
Oh,
Like
no, no, no. I can show you the cut later. It totally
okay,
makes
yeah,
sense. It's
okay, yeah,
like
yeah.
in the movie they end there, and in the show they continued.
Okay, yeah, I want to see that then because yeah, I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
unless May said that twice, I don't really get it. But yeah,
No,
I'd
no,
be
it's
interested
the
to
it's
see
the
that.
same place, same line, and like the character are the same. They're saying the exactly same lines almost at the same time. It's just so amazing.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I also wrote here Mace Windu is so petty. When like Ahsoka was like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing this as a citizen," and Mace Windu was like, "Okay, well,
Yeah,
all
citizen.
citizens can hear this." I'm like, "What? Come on, dude, come on." She captured Maul for you. Well, not for you, but she captured Maul. Show her some respect. But I was like, after I heard that, I was like, you know what, Mace Windu, now I don't feel as bad that you're gonna get killed by Palpatine. I was like, maybe the Jedi kind of deserve this. They're kind of petty. At
Yeah,
least Yoda was like, he seemed pretty decent. He was like, okay, yeah, yeah. But
yeah.
yeah, it
Yoda
really
had
showed
a
that the
pretty
Jedi are
cute
very
moment. Mhm.
lost. They're very lost to the people.
They are,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are pissed at Mace Windu just because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was pissed at him too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also wrote here, why no message for Skywalker? I think she wanted to talk to Skywalker, and then
Yeah.
they said Skywalker's in the meeting or something like that. But I just kept
No.
thinking, oh, I wish she
Mhm.
passed on that message.
Yeah, it was like Ahsoka asked Rex, "Is
Oh, okay.
Anakin there?"
Mm,
Rex said, "Yeah, he was." But when Ahsoka arrived, Anakin just left, like just
mm,
left.
mm-hmm.
So he really just missed him, and she was like, "Oh, I was hoping for Anakin to be here. I want to talk to him." And so that's why Yoda like, "Do you want to pass on a message?" And I don't think Ahsoka trusts anyone on the console, so maybe that's why she said no. She want to talk
Uh,
like
oh
one to
yeah, I
one.
remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I
Yeah.
guess makes sense, but it's also like, if only she could pass on that message. But
Yeah, no, or maybe just like request to see him, or maybe I don't know. It's just like all these details add up together. Like it just hurts so much.
mm,
And later, the next thing we see is Bo-Katan and her soldiers, Mandalorians, put Maul into a kind of cage.
yeah, that was interesting. I was like, I I guess like what is this cage like? Is it anti-force or I don't know. It's
Might
a bit
be, it
weird,
might
but
be.
like is that canon? Like I know that in the Thrawn trilogy that's kind of canon, but like what materials are anti-force in the
Mm.
Disney canon? Like I don't know. Well, I don't know. Like
Because
maybe it's
also it's
Mandalorian
the
magic.
last one.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it
guess it's
was
the
the
last
last
one,
one.
which
So
is
it might be
good.
something from a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
And there's a lady standing right beside Bo-Katan. That's Ursa Ren. You are not gonna know who she is, but she is mother to another main character of Rebels, Sabine Wren.
Is it the what you say was it Sabine? Which
Yeah,
was that her
Sabine.
name? Yeah, I was like, her hair is a color I feel like I've seen before in Rebels. I was like, I thought to myself, I bet she is one of the parents, but I didn't
Yeah,
actually write it down. But I was like, I bet she is because I know a lot of people like that character, and then I know that
yeah,
she's also a Mandalorian, so she's probably
yeah,
related. I was like, she looks
yeah.
way too important to be just a side character.
Yeah, also, yeah, they gave her a face in this episode, which they don't need to have that, but they did. Which I'm
Yeah,
re
nice.
Yeah, she also appeared in Rebels, but like that's another story. I really like Sabine. That's why I look at her mom. I was like, yay! I was really happy to see that. Uh-huh. And they left. They left for the Star Destroyer, and Ahsoka and Rex had a interesting conversation at the bridge when they're
Hmm.
talking about the importance of war and their role in the war. Ahsoka was like, I was raised to know the Jedi are peacekeeper, but everything I know is just to be a soldier.
Mm.
And Rex said, the war made us exist, I guess.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka said, at least something good came out of it.
Hmm.
That
Yeah,
was
that was a nice scene for Rex and Ahsoka's, I
yeah,
guess, like their relationship. Like it really
yeah,
shows like, oh, even throughout war, like they can see the light and like they still appreciate each other, and
yeah.
like their bond is very strong, which makes the rest of the episode very sad. But
Yeah, it was placed directly before everything else.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, and the way Ahsoka said at least something good came out of it. And
Mm,
that right after that is Order 66. That
yeah,
hurts.
definitely.
Yeah, and then like they salute each other. It was just a great moment between those two.
Hmm.
Very heartbreaking if you think about what comes next.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then there's the important Force vision that Ahsoka felt in the Force.
Hmm.
We heard sounds that's very familiar.
Yes, very familiar. Like I
Yeah.
thought they took it right from episode 3, but then at the end I heard I think it was Anakin's voice actor. So I
Yeah.
guess they didn't they remade the scene or
Yes. Okay. Everything
because
else
wasn't
except the
that Ian
last
that
sentence.
was oh okay because I thought that was definitely Ian McDermott. I was like
Yeah, Ian McDermott is
that's daddy.
credited
So
in this episode.
okay
Hayden is also in the credits.
okay
Also,
okay
it's Matt.
okay
So everything else was taken straight from the, episode 3,
mm.
including Mace Windu's voice, except the last one, What Have I Done? It was mixed with Matt Lanter.
Yeah, that's what I thought because it was like it sounds a
Yeah.
lot like Clone Wars Anakin, but that
No
unlimited
choice.
power like you can't recreate that. That's like a one in a lifetime.
Yeah, I'm glad they decided to go with the movie audio
Hmm.
instead of just everything, just redo it in Clone Wars voice, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel like
that
it's a
was
tighter
good.
connection to the movie.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So I feel like when they once that cut comes out, that'll be very cool.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then we have Order 66 and Rex fights against like the Order 66. He was shaking.
yeah, yeah. I wrote he's crying. Yeah, it was such an
Yeah, he
emotional
was
scene.
crying and yeah, I have tears in my eyes just to see him struggle.
Hmm.
And he said, find him fives.
Yeah, the fact that he said five, so I was like, oh, okay, that's a. It made that arc feel less, I guess,
Brandon.
like a defeat because I was like
Mm,
they didn't really get to do anything. It's just kind of like ironic that they didn't find out, but it's like oh
yeah,
no, they're gonna tie this in, and the fact that
yeah,
Fives kind of had that happen to him, it wasn't a complete waste. Like they
it's
actually did
not.
achieve something, so that was
Yeah.
that added more poignancy to the arc. Even before that, I wrote that there was a very cool instrumental without dialogue. I guess like during that whole before the whole Force Vision thing, like it was just like a long instrumental of just music and just like kind of
Hmm.
spooky music, and like there was no dialogue. It was just like kind of like reflecting. I felt like
Hmm.
that was definitely like it introduced so much tension. It was like, oh, you know that
Yeah.
it's starting to happen, and like the characters
Yes.
don't know it yet, but it's like you feel that feeling of dread. That was very
Hmm.
cool touch. And then yeah, once Order 66 happened, very emotional, very good stuff. And then yeah, I wrote that she's killing her own team, and it's yeah, very sad stuff. The fact that you see like the clones are still dressed with the Ahsoka paint, like the paint.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, she's
that's the
killing.
worst
That
part.
is so sad.
I know.
Yeah, that was yeah,
That
heartbreaking.
was yeah. So the design was just oh gosh.
Yeah.
I forgot what I'm gonna say, but yeah, that's cool. She escaped a little bit. She did something else. She went to save or release Maul.
Yes,
What's
that
up
was
with
very
that?
surprising. I wrote more team up question mark, and then I wrote why would more help her? Ahsoka is kind of being a dick right now. He was like, "Can I just have a lightsaber?" And she was like, "No." I mean, I understand where she's coming from. But I was like, "Damn, girl, you're kind of a dick. Like, you just kind of gonna leave him to die. Like, okay, you're the distraction. Good luck." But later, as we can see, he clearly did not need a lightsaber. But
Yep.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I guess let's talk about more a little well, more a bit once we as we're on the topic.
Mhm.
So he has an awesome hallway scene that's almost
Oh my god, that
as good
was
as in Rogue One, the
yes. That's
Vader
what I wrote.
hallway.
Yeah, I said just like the Rogue One hallway scene. It was so
Yeah,
good. Like he didn't even need a lightsaber. Like
I know.
it was it
Like,
was it was just great. He had decapitations. That was surprising to see. Not even with a lightsaber. He just kind of threw a piece of metal at them and their heads came off. It was very brutal. Very Maw. Very. I liked
yeah,
it.
yeah. It was great.
Oh, I wrote here that it's a shame that the Bad Batch didn't reappear. Like I was
Oh
kind
yeah,
of because I think we were speculating as we said it'd be cool. Like I think it
mhm,
would have been nice if the Bad Batch appeared and like maybe see how do they react to Order 66 because they are technically defectives. I thought they would have tied into it. I guess they didn't, but it would have
mhm.
been cool.
Yeah, but like seeing how they did this episode is not gonna work because Asuka didn't know them, and
Exactly.
it's
Yes. Yeah.
mostly about Maul and Ahsoka and Rex.
Yeah. So they couldn't have fit in, but I was just like,
Yeah,
I wish they did, but I
yeah,
understand
I
that they
know,
couldn't.
I
Yeah.
know.
But what else did I write? The droids were helping. The droids. I guess you always
Yeah,
got to have the
the droids.
droids. But I feel like I don't have a problem with it because it shows two things. It shows like Ahsoka was able to survive because she had such a strong camaraderie, not just with the clones, but with the droids, like with the whole team. Like the
Yep.
droids instantly trusted her, like they knew what was
Yeah.
going on. They were the ones who helped. And I also
Yep.
feel like Ahsoka wouldn't have survived if it was just her. Like if she didn't have any help from anyone, she would have
I
died on
know.
that ship. I feel so. The
Yeah.
droids helping that was a good part, I think.
Also,
And
she learned
yeah.
that from Anakin to
Oh
trust
yeah.
droids.
Trust droids. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, very good stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I wrote that it's a good thing that the droids they shocked Rex because I was fully ready to kill. Like even when Ahsoka's trying to explain, I saw
Yep.
him draw the trigger. I could see him pull that trigger. I was like, he was totally gonna do it, no matter what the
Yeah.
emotions. That chip is too strong.
Yeah,
But
I know.
yeah, and then yeah, it was a good scene that they cut out the chip and the whole force thing. I'm sure you might want to
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah. Just talk about it.
Yeah, that was very interesting. Very Rogue One, I feel. Or did they
Yeah.
say
It is.
that before in the Clone
Yeah.
Wars?
No,
Like,
that's totally Rogue One.
yeah, a lot of Rogue One influence, strangely enough.
Yep.
But yeah, that was a very cool scene. Yeah, I
Also,
like
their
how it
emotion
tied
was
into
very
fives. And
intense.
yeah, definitely.
Honestly, I still don't know how they did it like exactly. Like I have some speculations and I talk about it already on my reaction and in the comments. But
Hmm.
like how exactly they do it, we have to wait and see, I guess. I don't really understand that. The
I
force
mean,
and the droid scanning a body,
yeah, I
but
know it doesn't really relate, but I don't know. Maybe something with Ahsoka and Rex's bond. I don't know.
yeah,
But it was cool
there's
nonetheless.
someone in my comments say that it's something about like the force makes the chip that is unnatural like stood out to like the
Oh,
skin.
okay. Yeah,
That
that
I
makes
could see that
sense.
I could see that. Yeah, it was an
Uh-huh.
interesting point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like we have a brief attack, and that's the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Before we finish, just want to point out the three droids. One is called R7. That's the one with Ahsoka most of the time during the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
One is called Gigi, is a like tall one.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is called Chip. The Chip is voiced by Dave Filoni himself.
What?
The one with little head and like two arms. That
Oh.
was actually one of the earlier design for Chopper in Rebels. And I guess they just dig it out of nowhere and decide to go with it.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Is there anything else for this episode?
I wrote that was a very fast surgery. Like
Yes,
I
yes.
I was like, oh, that was really like they just yanked it out and then he's back to shooting already. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess technology is very good, but
Well, yeah. I for a moment because we didn't really see the surgery, I totally thought he's gonna attack Ahsoka, you know?
that's what I thought too. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I
I was like,
panicked for a moment. I was like, "Oh my God, Rex, no!" And then he shot the troopers. I was like, "Oh, thank goodness!"
yeah, that droid deserves a promotion because that was some very fast brain surgery. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it for the episode. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, let's go to the final one.
Yeah, the final one. Woof.
Yeah, big oof. uh, first thing I said, I'm not too sure, but I think were they playing the Order 66 music at the beginning
Um.
or something very similar to it? Because I got a lot of that music vibes.
Yeah. I'm not too sure about the music. So I'm not like really familiar with all the themes of music. I'm
Hmm.
not like really good at identifying the music. But I know there's like I know I'm not sure, but this one or last I think it's the last one. There's in the third episode.
Yeah,
Sorry, in the 11th episode,
yeah.
Anakin's dark deeds are like playing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which
Yeah.
makes a lot of thematic sense. So
Yeah, I'm not sure about this one though. I'm not good at identifying like music.
yeah, I wasn't too sure either, but I was like, oh, maybe
I
it
can
sounds kind of
tell
like it.
I can tell the most famous ones, the themes like character theme. I can tell Ahsoka's theme. I can tell the Force theme. I can tell
Hmm.
like Vader's theme. But that's pretty much it. I know like some music. I know I hear them. I know they were in them somewhere in the Star Wars, but I just don't know which one. It happens a lot. Yeah, this music at the beginning is like oh the chills because it was so I don't know.
Yeah, very heavy, heavy emotional stuff.
Yeah, and they got out of
Oh yeah,
the
the medical bay.
med bay. Yeah,
Yeah.
medical bay.
Yeah, I
And
wrote
then,
here, yeah, Ahsoka's not trying to kill anyone, and then
mhm.
1 second later she chucks a huge door at them. I was like, how much does that door weigh? I was like,
Well,
unless that armor is really good,
knocked
I'm
out.
pretty
Come
sure.
on.
Oh yeah, they're probably knocked out. But I was like,
Yeah.
damn. And
And we have
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
what else did I write? I wrote cool mall scene, but
Yeah,
was there
that's
what
exactly what
happened?
I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, explain this. Can you describe the scene again to me? Because I wrote it was
Okay,
cool. I
at
don't
first
remember what it was.
you are going to remember it because
Okay,
it's so big.
okay.
At first,
Oh,
Maul
I
was in
remember
the
now. Yeah, I
hallway.
remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
he
Very
choked
cool.
two
Okay.
troopers
Yeah.
and then go to the hyperdrive room.
Yes, that was very
That
cool.
I
Very
know.
well animated. I think that's like the first time you really see someone. Well, I don't know. Maybe you've seen it before, but like really mess up with a hyperdrive like
Mhm.
that. I don't know. It was a very
Yeah,
cool design. A very cool moment. I thought.
and also so powerful. Like you can just
Yeah.
feel it like so powerful when he
Yeah.
destroyed
That
the
was
whole room.
very
And like
cool.
the fire sparkles just everywhere. He's like standing there. Oh,
Hmm.
so awesome.
Yeah.
Ahsoka and Rex going to get to the hangar, main hangar,
Hmm.
and they realize they are crashing towards a moon. They find a shuttle and then like the doors open, a lot of troopers just come out. That moment
Mm.
is also very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's Jesse standing right in front of them. And Ahsoka had a conversation with Rex. It's a really, really nice moment.
Yeah. I
Um,
think it speaks a lot to the characters. Like,
yeah,
because I feel like she's very idealistic. She's still a
she
little
is.
naive, but it's like, oh, she does care about her team. But then she's like, I
Yeah.
don't want to hurt them. Even though Rex is like, we're gonna have to hurt them. They can't see reason anymore. But she was like, I still want to believe in them. And it was a very good ethical debate. And I think it spoke a lot with the characters that Ahsoka was like, I still don't want to hurt them. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, she really feels for them. It's like this is her squad, and yeah, very good moment.
Yeah, let's talk about this her perspective and comparing to Obi-Wan and Yoda
Hmm.
because Obi-Wan and Yoda didn't care.
Yeah. I
I
feel like Ahsoka got this from Anakin as well, because even in episode 3, Anakin was still kind
yes,
of caring about the clones.
I
But
know.
yeah, all the other Jedi are just like, oh yeah, whatever. But well, not all the other. I don't want to generalize,
Mhm.
just Plo Koon, but yeah.
She's different and honestly I feel like she's even better than a lot of Jedi who are actually Jedi and she's like every time everyone asks she's like I'm not a Jedi but
Hmm.
she acts more Jedi than any of them.
Yeah, because she sees the light, like because the Jedi have lost their way, and she's kind of like what an ideal Jedi should be. So that
Yeah.
was very good scene. And
But also,
what else
but
do we
also we can say that that's her attachment to the clones. Like that leads to the debate. Was it supposed to have attachment or not? Because we always say like no attachment, no attachment, but proved in the end attachment did help, did
have?
work. From I'm not gonna talk about rebels, of course, from maybe Luke and Vader. Luke stayed because he has attachment to his father. He wants to save him. Has compassion, and maybe
Yeah.
that is the right way. We like.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe
This
from that perspective, she's not a Jedi, but in the end, she is more Jedi than most Jedi at that time.
exactly. Well, yeah. Again, I feel like the council, like how the old Jedi used to do things, it clearly, yeah, they lost their way because you do
Mhm.
need some attachment. Because even Obi-Wan and Yoda, who were like the best, they were like, oh yeah, you got to kill Vader. It was because that Luke had that feeling and that family and that love that he was able
Mhm.
to redeem Vader, and even that shocked Obi-Wan and Yoda. So yeah, it always just shows that yeah, sometimes the Jedi aren't always right, and the whole ideology needed to be changed, which is why
Yep.
the Chosen One prophecy kind of came in.
Hmm. And Rex had a scene when he was like, "We have to do it," and Ahsoka just looked at him and removed his helmet, and
Mm,
he had like tears on his face. That was a powerful scene. I love
yeah,
that
very good
they
stuff.
use the helmet to be like faceless, and once you remove it, there's so much emotion under that.
Exactly, yeah, a lot of symbolism because I was like, oh,
Yeah.
he's speaking as a faceless person, but you
Hmm.
take off the helmet, it's like all the clones are like that. They all still have
Yeah.
feelings, and it's very good stuff. Very
Yeah.
very symbolic.
It's just so incredible. They throughout the Clone Wars series, they give so much personality to the clones, like
Mm-hmm.
to make them human and not clones,
Mm.
like to make us feel for these clones, like Rex and even Jesse. Jesse, oh, all the parts about Jesse hurts because like two episodes ago, he didn't want to betray them, and they saved him,
Yeah.
and right now he's like the main force attacking them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very ironic.
So yeah, so both of them walked out and Rex pretend to be capturing Ahsoka.
Mm.
And Rex point out a good point that Ahsoka is no longer a Jedi. That
Yeah,
shouldn't
I
be.
was like, would
Yeah.
that work? That would have been nice if it worked. That's kind of what I was expecting, how
Hmm.
Ahsoka would have survived it
Yeah.
before I watched the episodes. But I was like, oh, it's good they're addressing it. It didn't work really, but it
Yeah.
was nice that it did.
Yeah. What do you think about the Order 66 is really about? Is it about like all the Force user and about because Maul is also being killed,
Yeah,
being
that was
hunted?
interesting. I was like they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go after Mars, we're gonna execute. I was like,
Mhm.
is that part of Order 66, or did Palpatine tell them to do that? I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
because I thought Order 66, the whole purpose was just to eliminate the Jedi. Because if it was just Force users, they would have killed Anakin, and Palpatine as well, kind of, right? So
Mhm.
I feel like I don't know. I always thought it had to be just the Jedi, and then Palpatine just kind of threw in them all in there. It's like, oh yeah, get rid of him too.
Anakin, I feel like Palpatine made an exception. He
Mm.
long wanted Anakin to be his apprentice, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe he was already like a part of the
Yeah.
Order 66 programming. And for Ahsoka and the mom, there could be two explanation. Like one is like Palpatine want them dead because Maul is like someone who's gonna threaten Palpatine's place in the dark side, I guess. He's gonna seek revenge, so definitely Maul want him dead.
Mm.
And Ahsoka, I guess she says she's not Jedi, but she's definitely a threat to the Empire.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, or maybe that Palpatine just programmed it towards all the Force user, which could make sense. I saw something online. I'm not sure if it's canon or not. Some people, some Force users, some like Jedi during the Empire era, they they use the Force to mind trick some of the old clone trooper into thinking it's Order 66 again, and they turn against the Inquisitors.
Oh, was this in Rebels or was this in a
No,
book?
is this is like comic stuff, but I'm
Oh,
not sure
okay, okay.
when it was released. Like, it's after Disney or before Disney. So I don't
Uh,
know how legit this is. And also, there are people saying like there are clones almost attacked Anakin or something.
oh,
So I'm not sure about any of these sources. I haven't
yeah, I
read
guess
the comic
yeah.
about her. That could make sense that they are after all the Force user.
Yeah, I feel like unless something is definitively stated what exactly Order 66, how the details worked out,
Yeah.
it's all just speculation. Because yeah, there's no way of really knowing the inner working, the inner mindset of Daddy Palpatine.
Uh-huh. And there's
Okay.
then we have a fight scene. The droids helped. They
Yes.
opened the panel on the ground. I didn't know where they let you. I was like, did they just die?
No, I think they definitely they survived. They died later, but
Yeah.
but yeah, that was a very cool scene. What
Mhm.
I don't understand, why was Ahsoka trying to stop Maul from getting away? Like I know like she knows like Maul's kind of evil, but like I feel like you have bigger priorities right now, Ahsoka.
Oh, I
Like
think that's like the only shuttle. They didn't know there's any other shuttle.
oh, that was the only oh, that's why. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay, I see.
so all the escape pods are destroyed,
Yeah, I
and that
remember
was
that,
like the
but
only shuttle. And yeah, Mom went there and go right for the ship, even though Ahsoka saved him like 2 minutes ago
well, I
in
feel
this
like
episode.
I don't blame Maul
I don't
because I
blame,
would still
but
be
like I'm
salty.
pissed.
I'd still be salty over what she said earlier. She's just like, yeah, good luck. So
Oh.
I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm out. See ya, good luck. But yeah.
Yeah, and then we have a very powerful scene when Ahsoka tried to pull the ship back. Sky Killer, Star Killer move,
Oh yeah,
pull
yeah.
killer because it's some way.
That was cool. Yeah. I also
Yeah,
yeah, I don't. I guess yeah, Ahsoka's force isn't that powerful, I suppose. But I was like, what is like if she was able to pull the ship back, like would she just like from Ahsoka's mindset, would she just hold the ship there and tell Rex and her to run into the ship and then take off? Like
probably.
I feel like Maul wouldn't let her in. I don't know. I don't understand her
Well, they could
mindset
have a
there.
fight, and they could. I don't know.
I guess, but then I also
Maybe
feel
they're
like
just have to
cause
choose.
yeah, but then she wanted to rescue the rest of the clones, and because she didn't want to kill them, right? So she wouldn't have abandoned the rest of the clones. I don't know. It was
I
I
don't
don't
at this
understand her
point.
mindset really, but
Um,
yeah,
I don't know if she wants to save them, but I know she didn't want to kill them.
she didn't want to kill them. Yeah, for
There's a
sure.
difference, like to
Yeah.
active kill someone and not save someone.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound kind of like Batman right now.
Oh wow.
Getting Batman Begin flashbacks.
Mm,
What else was I also said there was a cool shot of the ship when the ship was kind of crashing. There was like very good animation detail. I feel like when they were showing the
yeah.
ship was kind of blowing up. That was very nice. And
Oh, before that, I also want to talk about before that. Oh, there's a really cool shot when they came out of hyperspace, and there's like all the smoke all around the ship just came out of it.
yeah, I think
Really
that's what
nice
I'm
shot.
talking about. Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Yeah,
But
oh
yeah,
yeah,
very
yeah.
very cool, very good
Yeah.
art. Yeah.
And then, like during the scene when Ahsoka's pulling the ship back, we can hear a little bit of Ahsoka's theme when she is using the Force most. And
Oh
then
yeah.
R7 took a hit, and also Rex took a hit, and
Yes.
that's when, and then we can hear the Force theme a little bit, and she let go. I
Oh,
like
okay, okay.
I like that part a lot, like how the music really reflects to her mindset. Like at first she's trying her best, and then she wants to help Rex. That's like her
Mm-hmm.
priority.
Mm-hmm.
So they fight a little bit. Ahsoka did a really great move, really awesome move. She shoot out her lightsaber on the ground and forced them to make a circle around them, and they drop to the lower level.
Yeah, that was
That move
pretty
is
cool.
so awesome. And so that at the lower levels, they head to the Y wing. That was some cool shots about with the fights, and they both took some damage. And in the end, Rex just his ship dropped first, the Y
Yeah, yeah.
first, and then Ahsoka tried to catch it out of like nowhere in the middle of the air.
Yeah, that was it was pretty cool how they kind of shot that. I feel like the
Yeah,
whole the ship was crashing and the Y wing
mhm,
comes flying out. That was
yeah,
pretty cool.
and yeah, she eventually landed on the shooter seat, the secondary seat.
Mm.
Yeah, at the back of the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was something to call back to. I didn't realize that. My friend reminded me. It was in, I think it's in third episode of the first season, at very first, when Ahsoka just became Anakin's Padawan. The first time they flew out together, Ahsoka wanted to fly her own Y-wing, and Anakin's like, no, it's too dangerous for you. You are just a Padawan. You are too young. So
Mm-hmm.
Anakin made her sit in the shooter seat at the back of the Y-wing.
Oh, okay, okay. That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's a
cool.
callback to that, where she starts and where she ends.
Uh-huh.
When I was watching it, I feel like it's reference to something, but I just didn't know what. And yeah, my friend reminded me of that. That hurts a lot.
Oh yeah, it's like poetry. Dave was paying attention, so it's very cool,
Yeah.
very good stuff.
And the last 5 minutes, I want to talk about that a lot.
Oh wait, before that, I wrote that
Okay.
they killed the droids, which is a very sad
I
moment.
know, I know, I know.
They
I
just
was
it's like
so
shooting
pissed.
puppies, you know. It's like I know they're programmed to kill battle droids, but like,
I
dang,
know.
that's
No,
kind
I
of
was
mean.
so pissed at that. They were just
That's just merciless, absolutely
I
merciless.
know. Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah.
And okay, are you ready to talk about the last 5 minutes?
Yeah, I guess so. So
um,
the memorial scene that was
yeah.
very cool. I mean, I don't know what happened exactly in terms of Rebels. Again, I still need to watch that show. But I
Hmm.
was like, isn't this planet deserted? How did they get off the planet? Was
They
oh, I
have the
guess
white.
the Y wing. But then like I
Yeah.
thought they both would stick together. But then I feel like in Rebels, weren't they apart? I don't know. That's more of a Rebels question. I need to
Um,
watch Rebels because I thought that they
it's
both were
it's
separated and they got
not
reunited.
it's not a rebels thing. I'm just gonna tell you because it's in Ahsoka book.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, but they
But why would you
retconned.
choose to separate from Rex? So I feel like they would have stuck together. No, I don't know.
They feel like it's too dangerous. I think to like
Oh, because
easier to hide like separately,
I
especially
guess that
one
makes
is a
sense.
clone and another is a Jedi.
That's true. That makes sense.
Yeah. So in the book is there's some details, but they recount the whole, not the whole, but a lot of the book.
Oh,
So I'm not sure like how legit is the book. I'm gonna tell you because it wasn't mentioned in Rebels.
okay, okay.
So in the book, Rex left first, and Ahsoka was there, stayed for a little bit longer. They faked two grades for both of them. Rex took off his helmet or like his armor, I forgot which one, and pretend to find another clone, I guess, to replace his place, and to fake his own death. And Ahsoka buried her own lightsabers, which
Oh yeah.
was green at the moment of
Hmm.
writing the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that thing actually didn't show in the here, but maybe we can say that it happened, maybe not, maybe they changed it, but it was a very powerful scene when they you look at the graves and she was standing right there.
Yes, yeah, definitely very good. Like it definitely showed that Ahsoka still had that connection and she feels their loss. And even
Hmm.
though they're trying to kill her, she still respects them from who they are rather than
Yeah,
what the Order 66 made them. And yeah,
yeah,
that whole shot where you see all those helmets, it's like oh, and
yeah,
they still have the
especially.
Ahsoka the paint
Yeah,
on the
I
helmets. I'm
know.
like oh god.
And then
Yeah,
there's Jesse's helmet,
yeah, very good stuff.
and then she let her lightsaber go.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah, because in the book it was said like because a lightsaber is just too much to attract attention,
Hmm.
so she let it go and go into hiding.
Yeah.
And then we cut to another scene when a
Oh my
ship
goodness.
landed, and that's a different design than the
This
clone was there.
this
And we have
scene.
snow
Oh.
troopers and some clone troopers, some storm troopers.
Yeah, I was
Um,
like, oh my
did
god,
you
they're doing
realize?
this.
Did
I was
you
like,
realize at once there's a time jump?
yeah, well, as soon as I saw the snowtroopers, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, and I saw the Imperial probe droids and all of them, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I wrote time jump. I said, are they hunting the rebel base? Because I don't know where this ties in. I mean, it really, I don't know what rebels ties in, but
Yeah.
I was like, it must be because they must be hunting, trying to look for the rebel base, and maybe they found it. That's my headcanon. Maybe it's
Okay.
something wrong, but I was like, oh, they must be looking for it. And then the next words I wrote were "ooh" with a lot of exclamation marks, and then lightsaber exclamation marks. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so
definitely very cool surprise and very thematic, very poetic ending, and yeah,
yeah. The moment Vader's like heavy breathing appeared, I totally lost my shit.
yeah, what a perfect way to
Yeah,
end
the
the
thing
series.
is, when you saw the snowtroopers and stormtroopers, I already kind of expected him to appear. But
Uh-huh,
the
uh-huh.
moment he appeared, I lost my mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was oh
Um,
so good. And then yeah, what
but-
they did with him as well was
yeah,
so good.
yeah. So he walked towards the ship and he picked up the lightsaber. Yeah, and what's your
And then he
thought?
ignites the lightsaber.
Yeah,
Oh, and then
what's your
Vader's
thought?
I wrote yeah, sorry.
What's the thought with Vader holding a blue lightsaber?
Yeah, that's the last thing I wrote. I said holding the blue lightsaber. That was such it's like such beautiful symbolism. It's great. It's like oh, back when he was a Jedi, and also it represents his feelings about Ahsoka and his past with the Clone Wars, and even the final shot where they just pan up to show that
Yeah,
helmet. Oh man, it was so good. It was like oh, like I feel like the blue saber was kind of showing there is still some good in him. There's that past. He's reflecting on the past. I don't know. I thought that's what I thought. It was very very cool shot.
yeah.
Very good way. Yeah.
Yeah. Something I want to mention, is like you notice the bird, the owl, right?
Yeah, I wasn't sure about the birds. I was like, why are they putting a lot of attention on the birds? Is that
Yeah,
significant?
you'll get that. You'll get that
I
in
will. Okay.
Rebels.
In Rebels. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but however, when he look at the owl, you can see his eyes under the lenses, the red lenses.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed that,
So
but
yeah, it's heartbreaking just to look at his eyes
mm,
through the mask.
yeah.
The thing is, we don't know when exactly this is and
Yeah.
what exactly this means. If
Mm,
if he knows Ahsoka's alive or if he knows Ahsoka's dead because he sees a saber.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't understand that bird symbolism. Maybe that ties into it, but I thought
Okay.
that Vader is coming across what he thinks what happened to Rex and Ahsoka. Like he
Yeah.
he thinks that this is how they died, and that's why he
Yeah.
turned on the lightsaber. He was kind of reflecting on his past and just thinking like he has that closure now because he never knew what happened to Rex and Ahsoka. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this is how they ended, and he was just kind of
Yeah.
sad, and he just brought back his humanity for a bit, which is what I
Yeah.
thought. But yeah, I don't know if there's something more with Rebels because I don't know if Ahsoka uses that lightsaber when she fights Vader later, or I don't know how that. I don't know the
No.
details very well, but
No.
I was like, yeah, does this
Yeah.
happen before? I guess it must happen before that, but yeah, I don't know.
Um, I'm not gonna comment on that. I want you to
Okay.
watch Rebels, and
Yeah.
I want us to have a discussion, and I'll tell you what happened to her later lightsabers.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that was in the book, and some moments I really loved, but that's for another discussion. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna talk about the blue a little bit and what I understand it and what they've said about it.
Sure. Okay.
So firstly, blue is Anakin's color. So it's definitely shocking to see Vader holding a blue lightsaber.
Yeah, I don't
The
think he
color
ever did
used to
that
be
before.
his.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna go back to the first episode of this arc when he said I twisted a little bit, I improved them to make them better. So we can know that when Ahsoka wasn't here, Anakin has been like not really improving, but improving her lightsaber a bit to show that he really misses her.
Mm,
And why he choose to change the color to blue is like there are two aspects. First is that he missed him. Second is he think his way is better. So why he said that's why he said improve because he thought his way what his comfort zone is better than Ahsoka's herself.
mm,
And it was a little bit controlling. That's what Dave said. It's about his relationship with Ahsoka, also about his controlling over the people around him. He
mhm.
wants them to be the way he want them to be.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah, I guess so.
So by doing that, he put a part of himself into that saber to make them blue, to make them personal. That's a closer connection to Ahsoka at that moment when he gave her the new lightsabers because it was something to symbolize their relationship even stronger than her old sabers. It's something
Mm,
changes, it's something connect to them. And
mhm,
with the last scene when Vader pick up the lightsaber, he's picking up a piece of himself and his
mm,
past connection with Ahsoka. That's why
mhm,
the blue matters. And because at the beginning I wasn't sure why like they decided to change the color because for me when I saw the in the trailer her lightsaber's blue and like yeah it's better than before. I've improved it, and I was like, okay, I'm not
yeah.
sure because I quite like the green and yellow lightsaber, and
Mm,
seeing that thing at the very end, it totally makes sense to me, because it was like the Anakin blue is the connection and the past, or like, especially the connection in this arc from the beginning of this arc to the end of this arc. It's not only just about everything before. It's about what happened in this arc.
mm,
So I think that's a nice touch to make it
yeah.
blue. You see
Mm,
his caring and controlling and his past, his regret, his guilt, whatever he could be feeling, or he's just look at it and think Anakin Skywalker is dead.
Yeah, definitely very thematic, very
Yeah,
symbolic. Yeah.
it was just great. Like for the last 5 minutes, no one talk.
Mm. Yeah,
From
very.
one
You let the
say like
weight of the
land,
scene.
yeah, crash
Yeah.
land to the planet,
Yeah.
and we can see like the graveyard, and then with Vader, just there's no conversation. So
Hmm.
heavy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what would have made it even better is if Vader shouts no for no reason at the end. Now that would have put the scene over
Oh,
the
but
top. Yeah.
that's a little bit too much because it's silencing.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say just the last shot is so great with the
Yeah,
helmet in the snow.
yeah, in the
Just
snow. It's like, oh, the Clone Wars are like a bygone era. It's like, and it's really,
yeah,
it makes you think because this is going to be the end of the whole prequel
yeah,
content. Like Disney is not gonna. I don't think they're gonna explore this. They're gonna do Old Republic, but they're not gonna go back to this. So I
yeah,
feel like as an end to this whole Clone Wars saga, I feel it's
yeah.
very very good.
It's really good.
Very good.
And
Yeah.
yeah, years ago when I first listened to the Ahsoka panel some time ago before they know they're gonna do Clone Wars again, Dave Filoni released some of the concept art and some story concept about Ahsoka's final story, the Siege of Mandalore. Do you know that they actually changed a lot of the stories because what happened in Rebels, something didn't use in Clone Wars at first. They moved to Rebels and return to Clone Wars, they have to change something. But in that art, he told Ashley about how the helmet is going to be painted with her face pattern, and that was already a moving scene for a lot of us. It's like, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, how did he come up with that? To have the paint, to have like the clone troopers wearing her face. That's just so awesome to see, to show how Anakin trusts her, and with his trooper
Mhm.
to give a half of his trooper to Ahsoka and let them wear her face paint. That was just powerful. And I think at that point on that panel, Ashley is already crying.
Really.
And then like watching this to realize they have to fight at Ahsoka wearing her face. Ahsoka had to fight them with new paint. It just hurts more.
Yeah, definitely twisting the
Yeah.
knife for sure.
How did they came up with this idea? I just, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed and it hurts so much.
Yeah. Very good stuff.
How does this arc rank in the whole Clone Wars series?
I think it's my second favorite. I think I still really liked Umbara in that I did had
Yeah,
no idea what to expect. Like this one is
yeah.
very good, but I know what the
You know
ridiculousness is
everything
coming,
that's
all
gonna
that.
happen.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but this is definitely very high tier Clone Wars, very peak Clone Wars for me, and yeah, very good stuff. I mean, there's some little stuff I was like, oh, I would have liked to see maybe Grievous's invasion or blah blah blah, but it's like it wouldn't
Yeah.
have made sense in terms of the flow of the story. But it's like I would have liked to see it, but I know why they didn't do it. But yeah, it's very hard to find fault with this, and I feel like
Yeah.
it ties up the chapter very well, and I'm very satisfied.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
How about you?
me,
Would you rank this very
yeah.
high? Or?
Very high. I'm not sure
Yeah.
first or second because I really like the Mortis arc.
Mortis. Oh yeah, Mortis
The
is very
Mortis is
interesting.
like a lot. I don't know.
A lot of
Um,
discussion for sure.
yeah. There are the funny thing is I don't think it's spoiler, I'm just gonna say it. There are two arcs in Rebels, one connect to Mortis, another connect to this,
Really, to
directly
Mortis?
connected. Yeah.
Wait, to this? You mean to this arc?
Not directly but like heavily connected.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, there are two of my favorite in Rebels and also two of my favorite in Clone Wars. They are almost directly connected, I can say.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to check it out sometime.
Yeah, I can't choose between these two. It's just so good. And the animation is just over the top. They're doing Jesus, they're so good at this. So, what do you want to see in the future? Because they are developing new series. So, anything you hope to see in the future?
Well, I feel like they've. I don't know, because well, I can't speak for more series because I feel like they've tied up this pretty well, and from what you
Okay.
say, it sounds like they've tied up the Empire era pretty well with Rebels, and then we don't talk about Resistance. So the the only thing I'm kind of I'm cautiously optimistic because I know Dave is the one in charge, but like I hear Ahsoka's gonna appear on the Mandalorian. It just makes me think, how would she
Mm,
tie in? And what is Dave's plans with her there? Like I don't like
I yeah.
what how would like what is her role in the story? Because it I don't know how she would fit in. But I mean, of course, Dave would want a chance to get Ahsoka in live action, and I'm sure a lot of people would appreciate that. But I'm just kind of concerned because it seems like the Mandalorian is more of its own thing. So putting Ahsoka in there,
Mm.
unless there's a good reason to, I'm just kind of hesitant with that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, same. Like I would love to see Ahsoka live action, but I am also very, very not sure about Ahsoka live action.
Yeah, because it
Is it gonna
doesn't.
be as
Yeah.
good? Is it gonna be like how is it gonna look? Just
Yeah, even like
how's
the
it?
animation, because like you look at Ahsoka's fight scenes, oh, that's very good.
Yeah,
And then in live action, it's gonna be much harder to pull off. Like I'm sure they
yeah,
can't get Ray Park level choreographs every time. Like
yeah.
yeah, so we'll see,
Oh,
we'll see. I'm
yeah.
optimistic because Dave is the one in charge, so I trust Dave, and I'm sure he'll do the right thing.
You watched Mandalorian, right? I
Yeah. Oh
remember.
yeah, I watched all
Yeah.
season one.
Yeah, so the lady who did the mocap for Ahsoka in this arc also did the last fight with Amara
Oh,
against
when she fought
this.
against the
Yep.
stormtroopers.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
okay,
same
okay.
person.
Okay, then I guess I have a bit more faith then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good, good.
Yeah, that was great too.
Yeah, that
Like to
was
think
good.
about what they can do in the live action. I
Hmm.
have faith in the Mandalorian because of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how when I want a live action Ahsoka. Maybe like sometime I want it to happen, but I'm not sure when. I'm not sure if it's now.
yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be a second season because there are people saying it's gonna be a second season. She's gonna appear. I personally don't think so.
Wait, in the second season of the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Oh, you
Yeah,
don't think?
because
I thought they confirmed it.
no, they didn't confirm. No one confirmed
Oh
anything.
no,
It
oh, it's
was
just
always a rumor.
rumors.
Yeah, it was always a
Oh, I thought they said they casted her. No,
no.
yeah.
No
Is
one
that
said a
that's still a rumor?
confirmation. Yep,
Ah,
no.
okay, never mind then. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of rumors and more than one sources, more than two sources, I guess, but I still doubt it. The casting might be final because there are so many sources talking about it. However, I don't think he's gonna be Mandalorian season two. The season two was already in like post-production, I think. So, I don't know.
Oh, you thinking maybe she'll show up in season 3 or something, or do
Mm,
you think she'll show up in the Mandalorian at all? Or?
I maybe in the future, or maybe as
Yeah,
a Easter egg at the end. I don't know. I want them to tell a good story.
I
Then
feel like it's too
as
early.
a
It's too early to
mm.
introduce Ahsoka. I feel
But
because it's
also,
very
yeah. Also,
sad the
Dave
Yoda stuff. But
Dave told us a lot of time he has to find a balance between telling a good story and fan service.
fan
He really
service,
knows
yeah.
what the fan wants because he wants that too. But also he said like I can't just do anything that the fan wants. I have to tell a good, a convincing story, and I trust him on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I think
Um.
he's found a good balance so far, so I think
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some question that's gonna going online a lot is because we know we skipped a lot of stories, and some of them turn into comics, some of them turn into novels, some of them just never finished. Do you want them to make into a Clone Wars series again, or do you not want them to go back because we all have the
Mm,
finale already?
it's hard to say because there's a lot of because this is such a good way to finish off the whole not even the Clone Wars TV show, but I feel like episode 1 to 3, that whole prequel era. So I
Hmm.
think that it's such a it tied with such a nice bow. But of course, that being said, there are some missed opportunities. I think a lot of fans
Yeah.
they're saying like if only Disney like got them the whole season or they didn't
Hmm.
cancel it, like got Dave's full vision because we got a lot of the vision, but we didn't get the
Hmm.
whole thing because he said they cut out some arcs and a lot of stuff, maybe some
Yeah.
missed opportunities. So in that sense, it would be nice to see that, but I don't know. This is a pretty conclusive ending so far. I feel like if they are going to make another series or something like that, they have to have
Yeah.
a very good reason to, because
Hmm.
like with those arcs, it's like it's nice to see them, but if they don't happen, then that's just how it is. But if those arcs are really good and they have a reason to exist,
Hmm.
then definitely I'd be down to see some more.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Personally, I actually don't want them to go back to do it. Not that
yeah.
I don't want to see them, but
Mm-hmm.
it just the finale is so good.
It's
I
so
don't
good.
want
Yeah,
it. I don't want to like them to destroy it, just be adding more stuff.
exactly.
Yeah. That's my take. of course, I want to see other story arcs. Maybe they can release them in other forms, but I
Yeah.
want this to be the end.
Yes. I think
That's
that's
yeah.
very fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there
Anything
anything
else to
else?
say?
I
Yeah.
guess well, the only other thing I want to mention, I guess, is just like it makes me really respect what Dave has done with Star Wars. I mean, it just makes me
Mm,
feel if only they had a showrunner like this. I don't want to go back to this topic over and over, but this for
mm,
Disney Star Wars, the sequels, I just wish like if Dave had a presence or someone like Dave to really lead it,
yeah.
because when you look at this, you can see how he planned everything out. He really cares
Yeah.
about the fans. He had this whole vision, and then that vision
Mm,
wasn't there for the Disney sequels, and that's
yeah.
just such a shame. Just makes me feel even worse about
Yeah.
that. They fly now. Yeah. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you wanted to mention?
Yeah, so I actually want just to mention one thing about the mocap fight.
Oh yeah.
So when I just finished watch that episode, I told you I feel like that fight is more emotional than any fight I felt that in the sequel.
Oh,
Do
absolutely.
you second that, or do you like feel like because you are doubting it because it's Maul and Ahsoka, they two-person who didn't know each other before. Do you
Hmm.
feel like there's like emotion connection in within that fight?
Visually, definitely very impressive. Very choreographed very well.
Mm-hmm.
With the emotions, I mean, yes, there were emotions. Again, I feel like it would have been stronger if the two had more of a, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
more of conflict throughout the series. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like even despite that, the emotion was still there. I got what they were going for because, like, even if the characters didn't have that motivation, it's what they were representing in the fight, like representing, I guess, not just even good versus evil. It's just like the
Mm-hmm.
side.
They
I don't know
are
how to
both a
explain this, but
castaway, one
yes,
from the Sith
yes,
and one from the Jedi. That's also
yes.
the Phantom Apprentice, meaning both of them,
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have a lot of parallel between them.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even though the characters haven't had much conflict, like what they
Mm-hmm.
represent, that shined through in the fight. I feel so.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that was one of the best
Mm-hmm.
lightsaber fights in the whole in this series. And
Yeah,
then in terms of the prequels, it would rank pretty high up there too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, what's your favorite lightsaber fight?
Favorite lightsaber fight.
Yeah, because you were
I'm
talking about it.
such an original trilogy nerd, but
Mm-hmm.
I it's either episode 5 Luke versus Vader, or episode
Okay.
6 Luke versus Vader, or
Yep.
episode 1 versus Maul. That one
Yeah.
didn't have much emotion, but oh my god, is it good. And
Yeah, it's just
yeah, very well choreographed. Episode
yeah.
3, the Mustafar fight. It's so hard
You're
to
just
choose,
listing the
but
good fights.
I know it's so hard to choose. I can't even choose. But I feel like this Clone Wars fight, it would rank up with them because that was very not only technically impressive but thematically impressive. So definitely very high up there. The sequels are not even included in my in my rankings. I can't even think of any of the fights. So yeah,
Okay, awesome. Anything else? Last
I think
thoughts?
that's it for me. Yeah, very
Yeah,
enjoyable.
that's Clone Wars. That's the end.
Yeah,
It's been 12 years, I guess, from
yeah.
2008
Hmm.
until right now.
Fun journey.
Yeah, fun journey. I am glad they have an ending to it in the end.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, thank guys for listening. Thank you for all the comments you dropped on my previous videos. And if you have any thoughts, any suggestion, any discussion you want to share, please leave it in the comments. Thank you so much. May the force be with you and bye.
Bye.